Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, my name is Brianna and I make health, beauty, and lifestyle videos to inspire and motivate women like myself. Have you always wondered if you're an empath? Have you heard of the term empath but don't know what it means? Have you been hearing and seeing the word melanin everywhere but still don't have a true definition of it? Do you ever wonder why you're so emotional? Do you ever feel like you have special abilities? Well, if any of those are true for you, then I have the perfect book for you to read. The book that I'm going to be reviewing today is called Melanin Empath. Discover the knowledge of melanated beings born with empath energy. Here's the cover, and it has such a beautiful image. This book is by Jade Asikiwe. I hope that I'm saying your name right. And thank you so much for sharing your creations with me, sharing your knowledge with us, with the world, because I am so excited to have learned all of this information just from this one book. So in all of my book reviews, first I give a brief summary of the book. Secondly, I tell my favorite quote or quotes from the book. And then lastly, I say how I felt about the book overall. This book is basically a guide to navigating life as an empath. And if you don't know if you're an empath or not, then the beginning of this book will definitely let you know and help you figure that out. And it also goes really deep on what melanin is and how it benefits us, how it affects the universe, how deep it is, everything. As she speaks about melanin, she goes into the scientific levels of defining melanin, which I never thought about. She touches on race and talks about how Black people were the first people on Earth. And this leads to one of my favorite quotes from this book, but I will save that for later. She tells you how to increase your melanin levels, and she tells you how to remain positive no matter what is going on in your life, how to keep your vibrations high, and how to keep your melanin levels high. She basically explains that the more melanin you have, the higher your frequency will be, and the higher your vibrations will be, meaning that you will be more and more powerful. This book is super motivating. It's very motivating, and it sounds not too casual, but it's very conversational, as if you're attending a nice seminar, a nice seminar where she's explaining everything in depth, but she's also being relatable. The explanation of melanin is one big part of this book, but the other big part of this book is explaining what an empath is. And it's crazy because I never really knew that I was truly an empath. I always heard the term and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm probably an empath, without really knowing what that meant. In this book, she has a couple of pages where she asks several questions that will help you determine if you are an empath or not. And she literally described so many things about me, not so many things, but several things about me that I didn't even realize were like, wow, that's why I feel this way, because I am an empath. I'll give a couple of examples without giving away too much of the book. Like, do you find it hard to be around large groups of people? Do you avoid or find it difficult to watch the news and sad media images? Do you take on the personalities of those around you? And are you someone that needs a lot of alone time to refresh and recharge? Those are just some of the questions, and those hit me because I never realized that meant something. So now I know what it means. She also talks about how there are different types of empaths, including emotional, physical, and intuitive, and there are several types of intuitive empaths, which of course she goes into the details of what each of those means and how to define that and different things that you can do to navigate that. One of my favorite parts about this book is that she talks about crystals, which y'all know I love, and she talks about what crystals might be best for you as an empath and what are the benefits of the different crystals that she talks about. She not only talks about the aspects of melanin and being an empath, but she talks about so many different aspects of life. Like, she warns you about narcissistic people. She talks about how many empaths end up being attracted to narcissists just because as an empath you are most likely a healer, so you are attracting people with a lot of trauma, with a lot of issues, who need somebody to help them. And oftentimes empaths will get caught up in negative relationships, toxic relationships, because they feel that they love this person or they feel like they're supposed to be there for this person, but they're only there for a purpose. I absolutely love that she puts a series of questions that will help you evaluate yourself and really realize and learn new things about yourself. That was the overall brief summary of this book without giving too much away. If you want to know all the details, obviously you will have to get the book yourself. And of course, the link will be in the description box. She has all of her books on Amazon, and she has a great selection of books. Okay, so now we're on to my favorite quotes. And I usually only have one quote from a book, but I have two quotes from this book. The first quote is something that might be a little controversial, but you have to look at the facts and you have to look at history. You have to look at science and just common sense. So the first quote is, "If the first people were white, then how could they create a melanated being?" This quote in question is very deep, and I don't want to start a debate, but she explains very clearly why this makes sense. And she talks about how melanin literally is in everything. Melanin is in everything, and melanin is darkness. And how can darkness come from completely light and white? It just doesn't make sense. So I don't know how to lessen the blow on that one, but that's just what it is. I mean, they make us feel like we're less powerful or lesser than just because we are of color, when in fact it's the complete opposite. And you know, it's just deep because they don't want us to know and understand our power, because obviously. And my next favorite quote, my second favorite quote from the book is, "Life is not meant to be hard, no matter how exhausting or routine it may be." That is a very practical quote, but it's very powerful as well, because a lot of people always complain and they say that life is so hard and everything is difficult for them, but it's just a journey. It's a journey. It's not meant for you to struggle. No matter what, it's not meant for you to struggle. There might be challenges in your life, but it's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to feel like it's such a horrible thing. Life is supposed to be an adventure, and you're supposed to learn things and enjoy the journey while you are learning those things. Now, what I thought about the book overall, I think that y'all can already tell how I feel about this book overall. I don't even remember the number that I use on this scale, but whatever that number is, whatever the highest number is, that is how I feel about this book. 1 out of 5, it's a 5. 1 out of 10, I think I use 5. 1 out of 5, it's a 5, okay? Because this is very valuable information for everyone, you know, not just Black people. Just for us to realize what it really is and really look at the scientific level of being Black or having color. It's that deep. The sun is medicine for Black people, but a lot of non-Black people, it's hard for them to be in the sun for too long. You got to think about why. You got to think about, just the fact that she said, how can we come from white people? How can we come from a non-melanated being? I am so happy. And I actually, some of the crystals that she mentioned in the book, and one of them, I don't know if I'm crazy or not, but I can't find the page that it's on. But one of them for sure is this celestite. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful crystal. And this crystal, I believe she says it's to help you enhance your intuition. And that's one thing that I really, really have been working on, trying to work on, because I know that I have a strong intuition, but I just want to be able to recognize it more and have it just be stronger. And the other one that I got, but I cannot find the page in the book, so I'm like, am I crazy? It is called shungite, and that's what it looks like. Beautiful black crystal. And if I am remembering correctly, she talks about how empaths tend to absorb, we absorb energy as humans, as creatures. Everything passes energy. As an empath, you're more open to absorbing toxic and negative energies. So she explains it as being a filter, to where you can still interact with people and, get that energy, but it filters it out to you're not getting drained and you're not absorbing all of the negative energy, which is very important for me because I feel like, I am around a lot of energy at times, and it's very draining and exhausting. So that's how deep this is. I bought these as necklaces on Etsy, but then I went to the crystal store and I felt like I needed them now. So that's why I have these. But the necklaces are still on their way. So I feel like if I wear them as necklaces, then I can have their vibrations on me all the time, which will, do what they need to do faster. I am very grateful to have read this book, and I'm excited to read the other books that she sent me. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna share those with y'all as well, even if it's a quick mention. But yes, please check her out. Links in the description box, all of the information that you need. And this is a very valuable, I cannot stress this enough, it's a very valuable book. Okay, please educate yourself about the deeper things in life. Life is not so regular. Life is not just 3D. There's several things to learn about. If you have any book suggestions, please drop them below. I'm always open to reading and buying and downloading new books. So thank y'all so much, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video, the next book review, the next whatever video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.